This is the disclaimer for the video you're about to watch, as well as all videos belonging to the Lynn Wick channel on all platforms on which we operate this channel. No part of this publication, which includes this YouTube video, may be reproduced, stored in a retrievable system, or transmitted in any form or by any means except as permitted by the United States Copyright Act without the prior express written consent of the broadcaster, Lynn Wick. While we use our best efforts to prepare content for this site, we make no representation or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the content of the videos, including any content, links, or resources shared by third parties. Furthermore, all parties specifically disclaim any express or implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. No legal advice or financial advice is being given herein, as we are not attorneys or financial advisors. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. No liability or damages shall take place because of this content. Furthermore, your use of this site and watching these videos confirms your agreement that the state of Ohio law applies to all disputes relating to this site, videos, and venue. For all claims and disputes relating to this site and videos shall be in the state of Ohio.
The hardest prayer that you
into something that you don't feel ready for. And I know that sounds uncomfortable because you like to feel prepared. You like to understand what the plan is. You like to know how everything is going to work before you say yes. But sometimes God will call you forward before your confidence catches up. That's why you feel stretched. That's why you feel nervous. That's why part of you is excited and scared at the same time. You're not crazy. You're just being challenged. And the truth is, some of you aren't even afraid of the door opening. You're afraid of what it will require from you once you walk through it. You're afraid you'll get there and not know what to do. You're afraid people will expect more from you than you know how to carry. You're afraid God opened the door, but somehow you'll be the reason it closes. Listen to me. God doesn't call you because you feel ready. He calls you because he knows what he placed in you. Some doors don't open because you're comfortable. They open because you're chosen. And chosen doesn't always feel confident at first. Sometimes chosen feels nervous. Sometimes chosen feels overwhelmed. Sometimes chosen feels like, God, are you sure? But if God put it in your life, he already knew what it will require from you. So don't shrink when the opportunity shows up. Don't talk yourself out of what you prayed your way into. Don't let fear make you delay what obedience is trying to unlock. Because fear will ask for more proof. Faith will ask for your yes. And sometimes readiness is obedience while your hands are still shaking. You don't have to feel ready to be chosen. You just have to stop running from the door. So if the door is opening and your hands are shaking, walk through it anyway. Grace will meet you in the room. So if you've been feeling God pull you towards something bigger, but fear keeps making you question if you're ready, Real Prayers for Real Life gives you prayers for that exact space. The space between what God is calling you into and what fear keeps trying to talk you out of. Because sometimes the prayer isn't just, Lord, open the door. Sometimes it's, Lord, make me bold enough to walk through it.
Just tell God, God, I'm ready to know the truth. I'm ready to know the truth about all things. I'm ready to know the truth about you, about myself, about my potential, about my life. So show me, open me to this path. Bring to me all of the right people, all of the right circumstances to show me how abundant I actually am, to show me that I actually can have it all. And then just watch what happens.
God gave me this family. They are the heart that beats. They are the light when the night gets dark. They keep me on my feet. Love is patient. Love is kind. That's written deep in this soul of mine. Yeah, every road led me right where I am. Back to the ones who changed my life. God gave me this family. They are the heart that beats. They are the light when the night gets dark. They keep me on my feet. Love is patient. Love is kind. That's written deep in this soul of mine. Yeah, every road led me right where I am. Back to the ones who changed my life. God gave
Good morning, Grand Rising family. Thank you for this morning. I opened up early, so a suggestion by one of the mods, and I thank Tammy for that. I should have thought about that earlier. Anyway, this is what's going to happen. If I cannot come up, I'm going to try to get this opened up for you to talk for about an hour with each other. I don't know what times you guys suggest, but if you talk amongst yourself today and you want to see what time you would like that done, I can do that. I am still going to be down to one day a week. I'm not saying I'm not getting better. I'm just not progressing as fast as I like. But of course, it's always in God's timing. Wow, I sure missed you. I hope you loved that song because that's how I felt the whole time I was off. Is that I got a family, and I sure did miss you. So this morning we are going to do the best we can to get along. I shouldn't say get along because we do that pretty good. What I should say is that we love each other, that we embrace each other, because we're never promised a tomorrow. And boy, have I learned that. I had a friend call and her family member passed, and I felt so bad that I couldn't be there. You know, sometimes we feel this world is very ugly, and other times, when you really truly dig and see what is happening, if you really watch the signs, it's not so ugly. Yeah, we haven't received any money. Yeah, the clarity hasn't passed yet. Yeah, recess is coming. Doom and gloom. Mm-mm. You really think that everything they're talking about is all true? See, the Clarity Act is going to move everything. But see, you forget about something. The war is still going on. What happens during the war? And it's been going on for a while. Oh, yes, it has. Boy, they stop, they go, they stop, they go, and now it's full blown. We have different countries going ballistic everywhere. You know what? People were showing pictures on one of the programs, and I'm saying, you're honestly not telling them that, are you? You know, today I feel really good. I'm not numbed up in the mouth. I'm okay. Well, I get a little numb on the side of my right side, but I'm okay. So once it starts getting numb, I'm going to have to stop because I won't be able to talk fully. So, but you know, let's enjoy the time we have. And I mean, every single day, enjoy the time. Not just here, but in your life. Enjoy your time. I'm not saying doom and gloom. I'm saying just the opposite. Kind of funny, huh? Rumors of wars. Didn't I tell you that before? I think I did. Now, everybody's talking about when are we going to go? Are we going? What's happening? See, the thing of it is, we don't know. But all the signs are coming up pretty close. Yes, I have been paying attention as much as I can. I may skip over a few things, but because I'm either sleeping or I'm just too tired. But I'm pretty good about getting back and going and saying, okay, well, let's dig. Or I'll call someone and say, hey, did you watch anything? Or people are sending me lots of things. And Tammy, thank you. And everybody else that's in here, thank you. And those that are listening, thank you. I do listen. I do try to email back. Sometimes I can't, but I do try. And that's all that's important, is that you try. Try in everything you do. We got a bank story today. Not for me, but somebody else. Did I get it confirmed? Yes. There's a lot of things I got confirmed. See, all I have to do is send it off and they send it back. So, and don't ask me who they are. Don't even go there. But we're going to have a joyful morning. We already praised. We already sang. And that was to you, my family. I listened to that over and over and over. Did you cry because I didn't? It's you that makes me want to get up here. It's you. Not anything else. God put me here for me to get up here for you. You know, some people have health issues. And I understand that. But try to do your best in everything. Because one day you may not be here. And then I'm doing doom and gloom. Get up. Go seek you someone that can help you. If you have any medical problems. I'm not suggesting a doctor. Only ones that you believe will help you. And your belief is yours to believe. So this morning, what I want to do right now is stop the chat and let's go to prayer. Father, we come to you this morning as I do all day long. You hear our prayers. It may not be immediately. Sometimes it takes forever. Sometimes we don't hear it all. But are we truly listening? Are we watching? Father, you gave me the moment this morning where my mouth was fine. And yes, it gets tired. I'm sure my husband likes that one. But Father, we thank you for this family. They've endured so much. And now time is presenting itself. It's progressing, but it's coming. And no one can deny that. Father, you have given us the greatest gift of all, to love you. That we know you're within, always and forever. But you always say, pray. And we do. Father, this morning, give us the gift of understanding, peace, joy. Not to be up in arms, but to relax and sit back. For you are the greatest thing that we ever had in our life. And we thank you. Watch over each and every one here today, those that are listening and those to come. May they find peace. May they find you in everything we do. And this we pray for healing for everyone. And I mean true healing. In your name we say, amen. You guys, I'm not that I don't want to do a meet and greet, I do, but I want to get on with this so I have enough time to get through it. If I don't run out of breath and I don't have a slumpy mouth. So I'm going to definitely try, and I might have to cut it short, but we'll get through this. And like I said, chat amongst yourself in here if you want me to open up, even though I'm not going to be in here, and then I can shut it down. So you guys have a gathering place, but they will be mods in here. So anybody comes in, if you come in and you're nasty, you're going to be warned. If you come in and you repeat it again, you will be timed out. It happens again, you will be taken out permanently. This is God's meeting place. So if you want me to open it up for an hour every morning, I will. But you give me the time, agree on a time before the end of the show, and let me know. Okay? Don't text me and tell me a time. Tell me in here, because you're the important ones. You're here. And I know a lot of people are going to miss this announcement, but I'm asking you. You are here. You care. You showed up. And I know a lot of people don't have TikTok. Or not TikTok, what's it called? Telegram. And I apologize for that. But that's the only place I can put an announcement or tell you what's going on. But this morning, God said for the ones that show up, open it up and let them talk amongst each other for 1 hour. I did talk to Tammy yesterday, and she's such a delight. She and I discussed it, and she said, I think that would be a beautiful idea. Actually, Tammy told me about it, but I had to pray on it. And he agreed with Tammy. I stepped back. Guys, you should know what's happening by now. Are you watching the signs? Okay, let's get started here. Now, I'm going to remotely do a segment. Okay? And of course, we have to go back from the beginning, and it's war, right? So I'm going to go silent.
Morning, Ashley and Todd. After a few days without strikes, the relative calm in the region has been broken with this latest exchange. CENTCOM says U.S. and Saudi fighter aircraft struck multiple terrorist logistics and weapons sites across eastern Iraq in a strong response to over 30 IRGC-directed aerial drone attacks in the last 72 hours. The unwarranted attacks against U.S. forces were not successful. The U.S. also says on Tuesday, the IRGC launched multiple ballistic missiles from Iran in an attempted surprise attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East. All of the missiles were intercepted. A U.S. official tells the Associated Press the two attacks were not connected. The strikes, though, come on the same day that President Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Netanyahu insists he and President Trump are on the same page when it comes to the war.
Because the president is so clear. I mean, we have a common commitment. We don't want to see this fanatic regime in Tehran have nuclear weapons to threaten every American and to threaten the peace of the world and to threaten the existence of Israel. So we have a common goal, and it's going to be achieved either through diplomatic means or other means, but we're both committed to that.
Zelensky, meantime, is touting Ukraine's ability to destroy Iranian and Russian drones as he also asks for Patriot defense missiles to intercept Russian attacks.
We want to stop this war. We're asking, President Trump wants and the Europeans want, Putin doesn't want. We're asking to stop this war each day, to minimum to negotiate ceasefire for some period of time and give possibility for diplomats to negotiate. But Putin doesn't want. So this is the problem. That's why we need to respond, be tough, be strong.
Today, there are reports that Iran has ruled out Oman's proposal for regional joint management of the Strait of Hormuz, undermining the latest attempts to resuscitate the Memo of Understanding.
Be sure to like and
I assure you that it's not Putin, it's both of them. I was watching Putin and then I was watching Zelensky, and I'm telling you what they say out in the public is totally wrong. Mainstream media isn't helping the issue either. So one mainstream media is saying one thing, one is saying another. Then you got the Mockingbird media. It's like, wow, can they get this stuff out just one way? Or are we going to go sideways, crooked, and up and down? So out here in the community, from somebody I called, that I asked if she had been out lately, and she said, oh, yes, I have. And I said, have you been hearing anything on the news? And she said, oh, my gosh. So she was the one that was telling me everything about what was going on with the news and stuff, because I only have Roku right now, so I don't really get live news. I watch Trump as he's up, but he hasn't really caught my eye lately. I just sat back on that one. So there is some things that he has said that I want to remind you of. So sit back, because this is right in your face. All of it is right in your face. Okay, here's his reply.
It's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but they tried shooting it last night. So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot. So it's our turn. But it's going
Okay, one question I have there. Where was all the rockets that fell to the ground? Didn't see one single picture anywhere. I asked that to 4 or 5 people. Well, I had to text it. And they said, geez, I don't know. Never thought about it. I said, yeah, okay. See, I don't know. People are believing this stuff is really happening. I don't know why they're not questioning it. All right, so let's get to good old Fauci, the one that made you wear those masks and was so corrupt. Well, we know he's not here, but they did put him on the hot seat. So let's begin and let's listen to what actually they are releasing to the public. It's not over yet. It is coming. That is going to be the hot seat is Fauci. Is he in denial? I think he took the fifth one too many times.
refuse to answer the questions.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer. On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel.
Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country.
You get the picture. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the face of the U.S. COVID-19 response under both President Trump and President Biden, invoked his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent more than 100 times or just sat there quietly during today's 3-hour Senate hearing. But why? Why did he do that? Especially since he's testified more than 200 times under oath in front of House and Senate committees over his past 50 years of service. Well, what you may have missed today was Dr. Fauci's opening statement, in which he described in detail why he was keeping his mouth shut.
Given Senator Paul's obvious obsession with calling for my prosecution, his repeated slanderous comments about me, and recently his publicly releasing my unredacted personal diary aimed at embarrassing and intimidating me, the only conclusion I can reach is that the sole reason he is calling me before this committee is to get me to say something, anything that could vindicate his repeated public pledges that I end up, in his words, quote, behind bars, unquote. Therefore, although it pains me to do so because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions.
Now, as I reported in detail in last night's Facts HQ newsletter, which if you haven't signed yourself up for that, what are you even doing? It's free. The tension between Fauci and Senator Rand Paul, who just so happens to be the chairman of this particular Senate committee, the Homeland Security Committee, has been well documented. These two men do not like each other. They do not get along. It started years ago over Senator Paul's insistence that the COVID-19 pandemic originated from a lab in Wuhan, China, and his claim that Dr. Fauci funded research at that lab that led to the spread of COVID-19. And then Senator Paul said Fauci covered it up, a claim that Fauci has denied.
The American people deserve answers. The American people deserve to know why dangerous research was funded by NIAID in a totalitarian country in a lab that lacked acceptable safety standards. The decision to fund dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China, will likely go down in history as perhaps one of the worst public health decisions. Frankly, the American people deserve an apology.
As I reported in last night's Facts HQ email, Senator Paul released more than 1,000 of Dr. Fauci's diary entries that he said the committee recovered from Fauci's government-issued computer. Of course, I gave you the link to those actual diary entries in last night's email, so you can read them on your own and make your own determination. Senator Paul says the diary entries prove that Fauci was saying one thing publicly and something completely different privately about COVID-19. And Paul claims Fauci is a narcissist who only cared about being the most famous scientist in the world. Of course, Democrats on the committee say Fauci's emails back up what Fauci had said publicly all along, which was that COVID-19 was a fast-moving and novel virus, and the science was constantly evolving, so policy decisions had to also evolve. The Democrats also criticized Senator Paul, claiming that he's not actually interested in the truth here. He's just interested in humiliating and possibly jailing Dr. Fauci.
And it is unfortunate that you have been put in the position that you are in today. And it must be enormously frustrating to know that this hearing is designed to entrap you. It must be very frustrating for your attorneys to hear the chair's mischaracterization of the legal issues and posture that impact your decisions at the witness table today.
Now, it's also worth noting that there was another particularly contentious moment in today's hearing when Senator Paul kicked Dr. Fauci's lawyer out of the committee chamber as that lawyer was trying to explain why his client was pleading the fifth.
And we told you you would not be recognized. You are not invited here for testimony, sir. So I would say, sir, sit quietly and don't say another word. I said, sit quietly. You are not recognized. Another word and you're gone.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hear what the attorney has to say.
He is not recognized by the committee or the chair. If he speaks again, he will be removed from the room. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir. Security, please remove him from the room.
Now, there was also a question about whether Fauci had the right to invoke his Fifth Amendment right today because President Biden issued a preemptive blanket pardon that makes Dr. Fauci immune from federal prosecution for any offenses he may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through the day Biden left office. But that pardon does not protect Fauci from potentially state crimes, nor would it protect him if perhaps he said something during today's Senate hearing that would contradict something he said in the 200 or so other times that he's testified under oath. But Republicans on the committee today say that's not stopping them from trying to hold Fauci in contempt of Congress.
You can't make a statement and say, I'm not going to make statements at the same time.
I think it's a very good question. I think that's something all of us will examine over the next week. We're going to have a vote next week on contempt. I think there's another legal question that the courts may have to decide upon, and that is whether or not a presidential pardon that offers you complete immunity, that you can still claim that you need protection from immunity when you've been protected.
So what's the bottom line here? Do we get any new answers about the origins of COVID-19? The short answer is no. We got no answers today, but it
Okay, so I see some of your comments in there. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. You need to hear all this to make sense when they start talking to you, the normies, because they're hearing this straight live on the news. This has been presented on the news. Everything that's going on is on the news. So everything they're going to be hearing, this is your family, your friends, your acquaintances. They might come to you and ask you, what is this really about? You have to truly be soft with them if you know the truth. And I sure hope you know it by now. Not guessing, but the truth. So they're easing them in to knowing the truth. And don't be surprised if you don't know it and they come back with the correct answer. So remember, this is not for us. This is to prepare us to help those who are getting this information. Well, I know they're all over the news. Just about everything, the wars, I mean, everything you're seeing and I'm showing you is basically on the news. See, I like when they have the simple, so I don't have to watch the whole thing with you. So I find the simple things to make you understand. This is what the people are going to be hearing. Even with Trump coming back with something, Trump is always on some broadcaster in his library or in the Senate. He's somewhere, but he also is on the news. All right, so somebody asked him in the Oval Office, which I also watched.
Why do you think Dr. Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment so many times today when he has the pardon? And what was stopping him from just giving an honest testimony this morning?
Well, look, I've never been a big fan of Fauci. Why he did that was very simple. His lawyer told him to. I don't know if he would have been better off not doing it. There were a lot of questions that I guess he could have answered, and some maybe he didn't feel comfortable in answering, but his lawyer told him to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so Trump was correct on that. So let me show you something, what he's talking about. And this is what he was talking about.
You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have.
Guys, you gotta laugh. All right, so he did this throughout the half the morning. Every time they were asking him a question, he kept saying, on my rights of conscience. And I was just going, okay, go ahead. But we know the truth and we know he's not here. So they have to finish this out. I don't know how long it's going to take, but this is not going to stop us from anything to happen. This is just now. This is what you're calling giving the truth. Now, will Fauci allowed to let truth come out? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to lock him up, but I'm going to say yes to that one. And they're going to give him the death sentence because we know the ending. But how long it takes, I do not know. We already know he's not here. Okay, let's move along. All right, so let's go to Kim Clement's prophecies. Now, Trump posted something on True Social, which I'm going to show you. And then it was posted on Whiplash on X. So it says Trump shares Kim Clement's prophecy video on True Social. Yes, it's over there. This is not a coincidence. This is him saying, sorry, screaming, the RV is here. LFG, share this everywhere. Okay, so Donald J. Trump, Kim Clement prophesizes about Donald J. Trump in 2007. Okay, so this is not some place that I can click and go at because I tried it. So what I did, and no, this is not recent. So let me show you this. This is the one they're talking about. Where's it at? Okay, here it is. Okay, it says Trump just posted the Kim Clement prophecy to his True Social, and this is the one.
Shall become a trumpet, says the Lord. Trump shall become a trumpet. I will raise up the Trump to become a trumpet, and Bill Gates to open up the gate of the financial realm for the church, says the Lord. Trump shall become a trumpet.
Okay, so why is that important? Trump should become the trumpet. How many trumpets were in the Bible? How many? Do you remember? Now you got to remember, they're using the old Bible. They're not using the real one. They're using what we used. How many trumpets were mentioned in the Bible? Okay. Seven. Trump was number 7. Do you know that? So now that prophecy has been fulfilled. Remember, I said the signs are there. All right, so let's go on. See, you got to break this down to understand where you are. So you got the 7 trumpets, which God said what? Now he said Bill Gates will release, but Bill Gates was a billionaire. What did Bill Gates also have? Tranquil is asking Trump was what 7? The 7 trumpets. Trump was one of the 7 trumpets. So you have 7 trumpets already done. They already announced that Trump was the trumpet. That was Kim Clement's prophecy. Hold on a minute. Guys, pay attention, please, to the people's comments. Seven trumpets. So now we got completion. All right, so let's move forward. Are you guys with me so far?
Full control. How many times have you heard me say that? We are in full control, especially in the UK.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I love you, Manchester.
Our new Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, has started off brilliantly.
Here's 5 things I've done in my first week as Prime Minister. On Monday, I launched a new national drive to end rough sleeping. On Tuesday, I announced a tax cut on energy bills. Wednesday, a £2 cap on bus fares across England. On Thursday, a 20% cut on business rates for thousands of pubs, clubs and music venues. And on Friday, I opened Number 10 North, which is going to drive power out of Whitehall and Westminster into every postcode across the country. People said these things can't be done. Well, I've shown them this week. I'm not having any of that. And this week is just the start.
And he's triggering people so much because he's so cringy, but he's enjoying himself. And you see people getting so frustrated with him. Things need to change. All he's supposed to be doing. And if you look at this from a higher perspective, the white hats, the people in control of this operation, they're having a brilliant time right now because we're watching the reactions of all of the gatekeepers. All of the people, especially in the UK, continue to push out fear. This is just showing that we're in control. And we're seeing this all around the world. We're going to see Andy Burnham dance like this politician from when he won his election in Hungary. Can you not see that they're all having a good time? So anyone pushing out fear, any of these bigger pages saying that we're going to take things into our own hands, the communists, they are the problem. And they are exposing themselves because we, the good people, are in so much full control, even having a good time right now as well.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I think it was good to see that, but my question is, where's the professionalism? You know, I'm not really hearing that in them. It might be just me, but I guess I'm old-fashioned. I like to see the dancing and celebration, but where is the professionalism? Where do you see this for the people? So let's keep an eye on them. Let's see what they're doing. Now, I hope you guys know that everyone across the world is on the stage. All right, let's move forward. Before we move forward, I want you guys to sit back. This song was sent to me by somebody, and I'd listened to it, and I want to share it with you. And when I'm done, I'm going to post it on Telegram. When you feel like somebody isn't near you, or you're drifting away, or your life just isn't right, or you're afraid that something's going to happen to you, don't do that. There is no fear. And I'm going to get as strong as God says I can get. I have no fear. None. So this is to you. Listen. Sit back and listen. Please.
There were nights I sat in the dark alone, with a heart so heavy it felt like stone, trying to smile when I was falling apart, holding together a shattered heart. I had pain I never knew how to say, so I carried it deeper every day. And the more I fought just to stay okay, the more it felt like I was slipping away. Bills on the table, fear in my chest, too much pressure, too little rest. I kept telling everybody I'd be fine, while quietly losing my mind. And I swear there were moments I was done, too tired to fight, too weak to run. But right when I thought I'd hit the end, God stepped in again. When I had no strength left in these hands, when I couldn't even understand how I was still breathing through the ache, that's when I knew God didn't let me break. When life pushed hard and my faith got faint, when I was bent but not erased, God didn't let me break. God didn't let me fall. When I had nothing left at all, He held the pieces through it all. God didn't let me break. There were mornings I could barely rise, with silent tears behind my eyes, trying to pray with an empty soul, asking God just to make me whole. I wore my hurt like a hidden chain, learned how to laugh while carrying pain, and nobody knew how close I came to giving up on everything. But grace kept showing up somehow, even when I couldn't feel it then. And mercy stayed when I was weak, when I didn't have a prayer to speak. I should have folded under all that weight, I should have drowned in all that pain. But somehow through every scar I faced, God didn't let me break. When I had no words left I could say, and no more tears left I could pray, when all I had was hurt and faith, that's when I knew God didn't let me break. When life pushed hard and my faith got faint, when I was bent but not erased, oh, God didn't let me break. God didn't let me fall. When I had nothing left at all, He held the pieces through it all. God didn't let me break. I've been bruised, I've been been worn, I've been lost, I've been torn. I've had nights I couldn't sleep in battles buried deep. But every time I almost gave in, God reached down and pulled me in. When I was weak, He stayed the same. That's why I'm here. That's why I can say, if I'm still standing, it's only by grace. If I'm still breathing, it's only because He kept me. He held me. He carried me when I couldn't carry myself. Oh, God didn't let me break.
I know each and every one of you has gone through a situation where you felt like you just wanted to throw it down and say, you win. But you see, God sent me someone who cared enough to send me that song. And when I lay there, I said, get up. I know this is happening to some of you. And it's not always about what we're going through in this movie. Our health might be deteriorating. You're struggling at home. God knows I have bitten off more than I can chew. But He says, get up. And what does He do? He shows up. And He says, I will heal you. Trust in me. And that's what I want you to do. Always trust in Him. Because no medicine in this world is going to heal you. But God can. He can help you in every situation. You've just got to ask. Just seek. Call out for Him. He's within you. He's right there. Put your hand on your heart and say, Father, I need help. The battle's not over. Not in this movie and not with you and not with me. Stand together as a family. Don't walk away. Stay. For God is within you. And He always will be. Till you take your last breath. And only He should determine that. He said to share that. And I hope you understand mine. And I love you as much as He loves you. Maybe I can't do the things He does. But my love is great. And you stood by me. And I always stand by you. And I'm here whenever I can be. All right, let's get started with the other one. And we are going to go into some stories here. So let's get started with that, because this is the good juicy stuff.
Completely ruin companies and ruin lives, and they've done it to small businesses, big businesses galore. And every time anyone has tried to sue them, they can't, because they've got limitless amounts of money and it's never gone anywhere. These are corrupt banks that are now going. Why are they going? Because they're no longer needed. We no longer need them. The SWIFT system is going completely. The SWIFT system was used by them to move money around. We are now moving to a quantum banking system, a blockchain banking system that is going to be on your phones. You will no longer need a bank account, and you will instantly send your money. So the banks themselves are no longer needed. Every single bank in the UK is now going to become a service provider instead. They will be there for, a lot of them are going to turn into redemption centers that are going to allow you to swap over from the current system to the quantum financial system. But they're more likely now going to be some financial advice center instead. That is it, because we will no longer need to put money in there. We will control every single penny of our own money, and we will send it where we need it to go, through a decentralized system, not controlled by anyone. Only we have the power. So now you think about all that money they've been messing around with. A lot of it's been taken away. A lot of the corrupt families, they've found out what the corruption they've done. They've arrested them. They've taken all that money back. As some of these families were sat on trillions and trillions. They had stockpiles of gold. It was all hidden away. Think about all the stories you've heard of all the offshore banks and stuff like that. You take a look at our current Prime Minister, the richest Prime Minister in there. Why does he need to be in there? He's worth £730 million. That and him and his wife. And his wife doesn't even pay tax. Part of the corruption. This is all getting taken away. So once again, oh my God, where's all this money going to come from? It's always been there, but it's always been hidden away, some tax haven somewhere, stashed away, tax not being paid back into each country. Each country's struggled, the inflation's gone up. We've all struggled more and more while they've sat on fat loads of cash and enjoyed the control. So get ready for a life of abundance, because all that money is coming back. You will no longer be paying the tax you were paying. You'll no longer pay tax on food or anything like that. You will pay 10% tax on anything brand new, like a new car or something like that. The second-hand cars you won't be paying tax on. Everything is changing. Get ready for it. It's going to be fucking amazing.
Okay, so there's one thing there that I want to remind you of. I cannot prove that it's a 10% tax, because now he's saying tariffs are going to be our tax. Remember I told you that? I said tariffs was always a tax. They just didn't call it that. See, there was a period of time that tariffs made money for the people. You know, to them, inflation had nothing to do with it. Then it got switched over to taxation. And now Trump moved it back to tariffs. The tariffs go out to the people. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, so Mark Z had a bank story, or a story. I watched it on this part. So somebody did a clip on X on it, and I said, cool. So I grabbed it, and I'm going to let you listen. I don't have time to listen to all these people. Okay, so it must be a bank story. Okay.
I see a number of you folks discussing what some of the bank folks have said. I've had a number of them look at me and say, look, I don't know when, but I know we've prepared for it. I know they've trained us. My thoughts, I think we're watching it play out as we speak. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend, not. I don't know the timing, but we can see a number of the pieces coming together. Contacts are all hyped about the Thursday. All I'm going to say is maybe. I got a couple of people that are moving. Well, I should say traveling to Reno on Thursday. So maybe that means something, maybe not. I don't know. It's too crazy right now to really pin it down without getting yourself worked up and then having to deal with the letdown. I'm going to wait till the day it happens. When I walk in and walk out, that's when I know life is good. Do not care to make any guess at the Venezuelan. I just don't have enough information. I have not heard anything that I consider credible on the value, so I don't know what to say on that front. Indonesian rupiah, I keep being told $1.47 on the bond side, group side, other than 2 more people that have expressed that they will be traveling starting on Thursday for out west in hopes that they will be working. These are not people to redeem. These are people that would be going to help in the process. So could be days ahead, could be very meaningful. It's all I've got on that front, unfortunately, and that includes CMKX and all those. So let's get into what I do have. Why have small denominations disappeared from the markets? Al Zaidi's advisor reveals the reasons. He said, look, I know there's suddenly all these bills have just disappeared. The smaller bills, don't think too much about it. You know, we use them a lot. They're going to need replaced. They get worn out. Just nobody pay attention to why we don't need them. Kind of remind me of the story earlier today about printing new Indian rupiah notes. One we shared not long ago about Vietnam. Suddenly all these countries having a problem with lower denomination notes, so they let us know that there's going to be a new series, a new printing. Just stay calm. Just stay calm while all these notes suddenly disappear. You ever feel like they're about to roll out a new currency in all these markets at once? And it's crazy that it seems to be in the markets that we believe are going to change, the ones we've heard all along. Why are these the only countries around the world that suddenly need to change their currencies and print new notes and want people to know that new notes are coming? I just find this one to be crazy coincidence. Prime Minister cancels a Saudi visit after deadly airstrikes on PMF facilities. Of course, some of the folks, the Iranian-aligned folks, they're upset about these strikes. Zaidi said, well, I worked with the Trump administration to do it. Now, Sadir, he's the guy that puts the exclamation point on it. He directed toward the militias and addressed Iran on the Gulf. End of war. He said, like, look, come on, let's stop bombing each other. This is stupid. End this thing. And then when he got quizzed or talking about the attacks on the PMF forces, he's like, you know, if they would stop doing stupid crap and working with Iran, they wouldn't be striking them. I love it. He said his denunciation said enough war, calling on the Iranian Revolutionary Guards not to bomb Iraq while addressing the unruly militias, stressing the need not to give pretext to the Arab Gulf countries to bomb Iraq. He went on, basically pointed out, you stop working with Iran, you stop being their proxy, and the U.S., Saudi, all these other countries will stop bombing you. If you don't want to get bombed, stop playing stupid games and being unruly. I just thought it was great. Sadir he cuts through the BS. When he believed he was the problem in seating a government, he's like, okay, fine, I'm stepping out. I want what's best for the country, not what's best for me. Difference between bonds and currency, a lot of people don't know the difference. We're talking about the bonds. We're talking about historic bonds. These historic bonds are things like kind of like U.S. war bonds when you bought them. These were to rebuild countries, railroads, etc., after times of turmoil, war, natural disasters. And these countries have to pay out. They are sovereign debt. It's kind of like death and taxes. You can't avoid them. These bonds are like that. They are sovereign debt. The country has to pay them. They've agreed no matter what. We can't bankrupt out of them. We have to pay them. Currency is just from your central bank. It's not money. Money has a store of value. A fiat is a currency. It does not have a store of value. They may be able to trick you into thinking it does, but that's also tricking you into thinking that the guy in a dress is a girl. It's not. So currency doesn't have the backing. It's just, the good faith of the country. Real money is backed by an asset, whether that's gold in the past, whether that's oil wells, whether that's, wool from a sheep.
Okay, I stopped it there for a reason. He said something that's very important that I've said to you before. Now, let me see if I can line this up. And let me see if I got this guy. All right, so let's go back to this. I'm going to show you one more time. Now, The guy that spoke, I couldn't find a clip of it. It went on and on and on, and I just couldn't. I'm not playing something that would take up the whole show. So the Treasury comes back in, and remember when he said they were going to be printing new money, right? So he got on TV and on the news showing what the money would look like. And this is exactly what he showed. But one thing that's different is Trump's signature is right here. That's all. This is what's going to be released to the public. You already have it. It's still good. It's gold back. You've had it for years. It's not going to change except without Trump's signature. And from what I'm hearing, the banks already have them. When they're going to release them, I don't know. I told you this was already gold back years ago. Now, the fiat money they're talking about is the one that has nothing on here. Is it still going to say Federal Reserve? Yes. This you already have. This is gold back. $100 gold back. Are you getting it? This is exactly what the treasurer said on NBC, CBS. They was all over the news that, and he was talking to another gentleman, and he was saying the only thing, and he picked up a whole stack of these, and he said this right here will have Trump's name on it. So he picked up the stack and he showed Trump's signature. He said, which is released already to the banks. Why do these people not believe me? You've had it. When Trump said it would be traceable, this is traceable. But it's not to chase you. It's to chase the bad guys that's trying to steal your gold back money. There will always be bad guys. You're not going to get rid of everybody, but you're getting rid of all the dirty, corrupted things. But there you have it, gentlemen, my dear ladies. Now go out and speak the truth. Show them. Don't be afraid. You know what? People at the cashiers and at the grocery store, and I'm looking at them going, you know, that's gold back. And she says, gold back what? And I says, money. She goes, what's that mean? Oh my God. Come on now. So I had to sit there and explain the whole thing to her. She goes, no kidding. And I said, you've had it for years. She goes, wow. I just told this to one of the nurses, and she said, yeah, I know. And I says, wait, what do you know? She goes, I know almost everything. And I said, everything what? And of course, I was having a really bad sore throat. So she says, we'll talk when you come out. We'll talk. So I was so anxious to wanting to say something to her. And so the doctor comes in and says, what were you two having a conversation about? And I says, nothing really important. And she says, you don't need to be talking. And I says, oh, yes, I do. So anyway, this, ladies and gentlemen, please let people know they are already holding their gold back money. It is 100% Donald J. Trump's name is going on it. Now, here's my question. Why isn't his head going on? Because they said his head wouldn't be going on. So I did some more research. Did you? Have you been researching if Trump is here or in Cheyenne Mountain? Or is he an actor? You know, and this is what I don't understand. Some people are showing this now to the fiat money, which has nothing like this. Remember the old bill? Remember the old bills? They were just plain. Let me see if I can show you the difference. Hold on here. I'm going to show you. I did this on a Zoom call about 3 or 4 months ago. You know, my question is, somebody said to me, I'm ashamed to tell anybody. I asked them why. They said, because my family won't believe me. I said, well, they're holding it in their wallet. I should have done this before. Hold on. I'll show it. Yep, there it is. Let me show you how back this goes. So here's one. Gotta share. One there. Okay, now here's another one. I'm gonna show this to you. Here. All right, so let me click out of here. Now, what I'm going to show you next. Let me see. That's not it. Back here. Okay. Inbox. Okay, here they come. All right. That one you already seen. So let me go here. Okay, so this is a good one. So I'm going to show you this one. This is a fiat dollar. And I know you'll remember it as soon as you see it. But this is a fiat dollar. You don't see any go back to it. There's gold in here, but there's nothing else here. All right. So now let me show you another one. Here. Now, what was the year this one came out? Okay, this is 2007. So let me show you this. See the gold on the 10? See, you've been holding this and you didn't realize they flipped the tables on you way back when I kept telling you that. When I was helping people set up to learn how to do a podcast, these were already out. I didn't know it. None of us knew it. They just put them right on in there. Do you remember these? I do. This is gold back. $10. You got 10 here, and there's 10 on the back. Well, I might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you got a grouping of 2, so the 3 is on the back. So there's got to be groupings in order to match the denomination. Are you guys understanding this? So let me see if I have this other one. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so let me do this again. All right, so let's go back. Let's bring it up. Now you got to remember, the bigger the nomination, the more it's going to stand out to you. So when I first saw that inkwell with the feather and 100 in gold, I said, wait a minute. So, of course, I called somebody and I said, I got a question. Have we been gold back since 2004? And they said, how did you figure that one out? And I said, because I went back and looked. And they said, bravo. And I said, no, it's not a bravo. Does people understand that we have gone gold back without even noticing it? So whose names are on all these? Look them up. Every president's name that was in office. Now, the president has to be dead. You cannot have a live president's picture on any bills. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Do not cash in the old fiat money because it's still stamped. There's a stamp on it. I can't blow it up big enough for you until they tell you, because it's going to be worth trading it in with something else. Not when you go to the banks. Just hang on to it. You don't need a lot. Just hang on to it. Slow rollout of financial change. Not noticed by most, but slowly we are learning and sharing. Absolutely. This is what I'm saying. They don't have to make announcements to do anything. Look when Reagan, or not Reagan, when, I can't think of his name. The one I didn't like. Nixon. He didn't come up until after it's already over with. And this has been out for how many years? They fooled us again. Leno says, I took $8,000 in 100s and $2,000 in 20s at one time. I loved living on that until I was old, until I could collect early retirement. LOL. See, this is why you need to pay attention. Will the rollout from Trump's be here? Yes. Just pay attention. I don't know when they're coming out, but they are in the banks. Because the redemption center is not where you're going to want to take it. And this one will be on the news. All right, so what fiat money are you going to be taking back? Oh, sure, you can go way back and you can get some. But look at the serial numbers. I'm telling you, you learn something new every day. Even I do. Okay, so let's do another bank here. What the banks are doing.
For the Senate to move forward on the Clarity Act, which would put some new rules around crypto and stablecoin industries. Joining us right now to talk about it is Rob Nichols. He is the president and CEO of the American Bankers Association. And Rob, I can't think of anything that has gotten bankers more riled up than the Clarity Act recently. Maybe we can point back to the huge kind of back and forth fights between Jamie Dimon and Brian Armstrong from Coinbase about what's going on here. You obviously represent bankers. Why don't you tell me your side of things, what you find wrong with the Clarity Act?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of good in the Clarity Act, too. We do think that we should have a supervisory framework over digital assets. We think that's important. And innovation in the United States is important as well. So we support that. But we want to make sure we do it in a way that doesn't impact economic activity and local lending. So the new draft, Becky, that just came out, it's 600 pages. And the intent of the senators is to ensure that, just like in the Genius Act, issuers of payment stable coin are not able to offer yield, interest, or reward for fear that deposits would flee banks and credit unions, and that would impact a lot of economic activity all across the United States, New Jersey, and everywhere else. So we're working with the senators just to make sure that the language that they intend can also extend to affiliates and to exchanges. And so there isn't a massive dampening of economic activity. So the Congress intent here is simply what we're helping them do. The bill, Becky, is about 600 pages, and there's only 2 paragraphs that we're suggesting tiny surgical edits. So the bill will do exactly what the senators want it to do. I will say this, too, and you mentioned the dialogue between Mr. Armstrong and Jamie Dimon. I do think that the crypto and the banking sectors can coexist. I think we can be the crypto capital of the world, and I think we can be the banking capital of the world.
Okay. Now, this was talked about just about everywhere last week. So you are going to be your own bank eventually. And yes, there's going to be classes, as I said before. If you don't know how to do it on your phone, they will be classes for everything. And they will all be free of charge. So when those classes come up, if you haven't already got them, I will get a list for you where they're located. There is no cost, but you need the location and who is teaching it and what the program will be. So once I get that, I'm going to put them down on Telegram, and you can go up and pick out the ones that you wanted to go to. And I strongly suggest, if you do not know enough about it, it's good. But at the beginning, they will be still taking Trump money, which I call it because of his signature. That's the Trump money. And also, you will be learning, and some of them know how to do the crypto and how to exchange and how to do this and that, whatever. So don't worry, everything is going to be fine. But it's getting exciting. Okay, so Trump, I'm going to post this for you. And I'm going to have to stop talking too much after this. It says President Trump just dropped the hammer. No August recess, no vacation, no escape. Senior senators will not leave town until Save America Act is signed into law. When a reporter asked why, Trump didn't hold back. He says, "What a stupid question." Yes, he did. The Save America Act has to be done. They shouldn't leave town. Get the Save Act done. If they don't, it will be very bad for the party. This is non-negotiable. Election integrity comes first. No more delays. No more excuses. Get it done.
On the Senate, on the SAVE Act, why do you want the U.S. Senate to stay in town? Shouldn't they be out across the country campaigning?
What a stupid question.
Shouldn't they be out and be campaigning, though?
What a stupid question. For Jennifer to ask such a stupid, she's a smart person. I knew her all the way back in the Iowa days when she said Trump's going to win. And boy, was she right. So listen, why do I want? The SAVE Act has to be done. They shouldn't leave town. I'm not going to stop them from doing it, but they should get the SAVE Act done. If they don't get it done, it's going to be a very bad thing for the party. And frankly, if you look at it, the SAVE Act is going to be voted against by all Democrats, just so we know. We have some Republicans that I will not comment on, a few of them, probably 4, that we probably won't get the vote. I'd like to comment on them, but I have too much sense to do it. The Democrats are going to vote 100% against voter identification and proof of citizenship. 100%. Okay?
Okay, so as you can see, Trump is more wanting this to pass because of the voter ID. Do I think that's going to pass? I hope not. I just don't. People need to be free. You don't need to be caught up in all this politician stuff again. And that doesn't sound like it's independent and you had the freedom of choice. And that's just my opinion. Okay, so here's a video about Trump. Commentary Baron Trump says, Trump to big banks, back off. He just voted to block Wall Street from sabotaging the Clarity Act. The financial reset will not be stopped. You heard what I just said. This too was on all over the news. Okay, so he gave a speech. He didn't say any more. See, this is what I'm saying. We need where today bring things forward. Sometimes I feel like we're going backwards. Silver's back, yeah. Now, I'm just going to show you this because this is how things get really, really bad. All right, so I was in TikTok and I ran across this. This was yesterday morning or afternoon. I don't know what time it was. So if you look at this, this is a wonderful layout, right? And it's like, wow, I believe this. Look at this. It's just beautiful layout. Like it came from a press conference or it came from the Senate, right? Okay. So what does it say? Yeas 68, nays 30. Passage on H.R. 3191, the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act, the bill to establish transparency and accessibility in lobbying, advanced innovation, and improve trust for you. So the Clarity Act was not passed. You see how they do this? It was not passed. Be careful of what you're watching. That was absolutely horrible. I had to get the number off of that thing. TikTok is getting really, really bad about this. Okay, so Frank had a bank story. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. Okay, I'm trying to figure out which one's more important for you. All right, I'm going to play this one for you. And I'm going to share it in Telegram. Share it to everyone. Well, you can't. I forgot you can't share that. Anyway, and it's still going to be in Telegram. So this is breaking. The Trump just declared total war on the IRS, a plan to replace income tax with tariffs and restore America's prosperity of 1913. The IRS is done. The American people finally win. The bombshell. Trump declares war on federal income tax. Stay connected. The next drop will be shocking.
You talked about how historic these tariffs have been, bringing revenue, additional revenue for our country. You've also mentioned before they could possibly replace federal income tax.
Possible.
Do you think that
Someday it's possible. It used to be. So if you go back to 1913 is when they ended tariffs. We were the richest ever from 1850. It was all tariffs. We didn't have income taxes. From 1850 to 1913. In the 1887s, about 1887, they had the Great National Tariff Act. And it was a group of people that got together because our country was so rich, they didn't know what to do with the money. We had so much money, they didn't know what to do. It was a group of very prominent people that were set up to hand out money to everybody because we were the richest we ever were. Proportionately, we were in 1887, around that time, even in 1913, we ended them in 1913. How did that work out? And then we went to the income tax system, and then we had the Depression. And by the way, a lot of people try and say that, oh, tariffs with the Depression. No, they ended in 1913, and then we went to income tax, and then in 1929, you had the Depression. They did try and bring it back in 1931-32, but the Depression had long started, and this poor, beautiful nation was gone. It was gone. We suffered for 25 years. It took 25, 30 years to really recover from the Depression. And we don't ever want to see that happen again. The tariffs are vital to the success of this country. When I say I ended 7 wars, at least half of those wars were ended because of the power of tariffs. I was able to.
Okay, so why I wanted you to hear that was because the tariffs, as he said, funded the government. They funded the government to pay for all the taxes. And because we haven't come that far yet, we still have to have like a tax on new items, which I don't know what the percentage will be, but that will help fund out your states. This is how the cities, or actually it's going to be the counties, will be funded. You won't be doing it. It will be what we collect from the tariffs. So this is what I'm saying. You'll even have money from the tariffs because you're not going to be paying anything except for the government taxes, which is whatever your government in that local county or state has you to pay. And it's not going to be much. Makes sense? Do you guys want to see Frank's bank story, or have you heard it? Or I can show you how Trump says how much things have escalated in our pricing. Okay, you want to hear that one? All right. Okay, so there was one after this, but I didn't like the story so well. So let me get this one up for you. Okay. Okay, so where was this at? There we go. Now, this is him calling her.
Hey, Frank.
Hi, Mrs. D. How are you?
I'm good. Waiting for you to call.
You know, I've missed you since we talked this morning.
It's been a while, yes.
So, you know, your story is amazing. And then on top of that, when we're done with your story, oh my goodness, you're going to be amazed at what you hear after yours.
Oh, wow.
But,
I can't wait.
but in all honesty, yours is just absolutely, you know, earth-shattering also. We're going to call you Mrs. D, and you are from Oregon?
Oregon.
Oregon? I'm sorry, Oregon. Oregon. what am I? What planet am I from? Oregon. That's what you put on your soup, isn't it? Oregano or?
Oregano, yeah.
So you're from Oregon, and the bank that we're dealing with is Chase, correct?
Correct.
You know, the story yesterday was from Washington. Yeah, that's close to you.
Yeah, and I like the other one from California, too, that we had.
Oh, I know. That was really good. Well, I asked you to say a prayer, and I asked you to make an outline, and I've learned that it's best that I be silent when people are talking. The floor is yours, and please tell us everything that happened. Start by telling us when this all happened.
So, first of all, I just want to let everybody know in this investment for over 15 years. So this is not my first year here, but so this whole thing started this morning. I had a meeting with a manager from Chase Bank. He came to our home, and no, he's not a friend of mine or anything like that. My husband is doing some construction projects, and he wanted to follow up. And for the last 2-3 weeks, he kept emailing me, when can we come? When can we come? Do you have time? And so yesterday, I finally emailed him back, and I said, do you have anything open tomorrow? And I would think he would say no. And he said, yes, absolutely. I can come about 11 if that works for you. So 11 o'clock this morning, he was here.
At your home? At your home?
At my home, yes.
Okay, go on.
And so we, he came on in, and so we sat down in our office, my husband and I, and we started just making small talk. He asked, well, so how are you guys doing, and how's everything going? And I said, well, that's the same. I met this, just to kind of go back, I met this gentleman a year ago, and that's just me and my husband walking into a Chase Bank. And when we walked into the Chase, talked to somebody about the currencies, and he was the closest thing that I could get in that Chase Bank currency. He didn't know much about the currency a year ago, but he got me into touch with a wealth manager from JP Morgan, literally the very next day. That go into that a little bit later, what that wealth manager did. But anyway, that's the kind of the pretext for this conversation today. So he said, well, he goes, I know you mentioned, so after everything's fine, everything's the same, pretty much the same project, nothing's really changed is what I told him. And he goes, you mentioned the currencies. That was the first out of his mouth. We did not say anything about the currencies. I did not a word about the currency.
He initiated the conversation with the Iraqi dinar?
Absolutely.
Go on.
Yeah, and I said, oh, well, since you brought that up, let's talk about it. Yes, we have multiple different kinds of currencies, but I want to make sure that we're talking one specifically, the Iraqi dinar. He goes, yes. He goes, since you brought it up, do you know that the Iraqi dinar is going to be revaluating soon? And he said, yes. And then I said,
okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get excited. He said, yes, he knows it's about to revalue.
Yes.
All right, and with a straight face.
Yes.
Go on.
And then I said, do you know that your CEO, this is a Chase Bank, I don't know if we said it or not, but this is from Chase Bank. I said, your CEO, Jamie Dimon, was in Iraq prior to the prime minister coming in last week. And they made some deals with prior to this. He goes, yes.
Wow.
And then,
So he knows.
yeah, he did.
Hmm.
And it's weird because last year he didn't say any of this stuff.
That's right. Last year when you first met him, he didn't say anything. Was he negative about foreign currency last year?
No, he wasn't negative.
He just
was
was.
like,
He just wasn't educated like he is now.
yes.
He's
Yes.
been updated. He's been updated. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. But, yes, and then I told him, you're aware, I'm sure, that the prime minister was here last week and made over 60 billion with a B deals with the U.S. in healthcare, agriculture, technology, and he also brought 70 people in his delegation with this. He goes, yes, I do, and you're right about the 60B.
So far, he says rapid firing. Yes, 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 yes to every question.
Correct.
Go on.
And I also said, I'm sure know this too, that Chase is actually opening in Iraq. They're going to be opening banks in Iraq. And he goes, yes.
Okay.
So all of those, were pretty much, just to make sure that we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
I told him all the questions and kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Then we went on to and talked about the different tiers. I said, so what I kind of played like, oh, can you teach me now? What do you have, we can talk about as far as, if I have a certain amount of money.
What do you qualify as? What tier? There's 4 of them, but go ahead.
He goes, well, if you have 150 cash, 150,000 in cash, then you're considered, and that's liquid.
Okay.
Then you're going to go into the Chase Bank.
Got it.
If you have 2.5 million or more, you're going to be a private client in JP Morgan.
Got it.
And then if you're 5 million or more, you're going to go to the private bank side. And those are the tiers he gave
There's
me.
one more. He didn't tell you the last one. Oh, buddy. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so that's what he told me about the tiers. And then he goes, what? He goes, can I ask you a question? And I go, yeah, go for it.
You're a good student. Yeah, well, go ahead. What do you ask?
He goes, do you have your money in digital or physical?
He asked you that, Mrs. D?
Yes.
Did you hear one of my recent UB2Bs where the same question was asked and I busted a gut because I said his eyes got big when you said physical. And he said, you got it physical? You have it in hand? You have it cash? The dinars? Yeah. Oh, it's not digital? No. That's what they've been taught about because that's going to be the future for it. But in their hands, you are more valuable to them.
And when I said physical, I had the same thing happen.
What?
So
you got so when you told him that no, your dinars are physical, not digital, was he happy, elated, or did he like yawn?
No, he was excited. I could tell his eyes were going really big, and
he's gonna make 100%. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's happy. If it was digital, he can't profit. Well, I got to be careful. So continue. Yeah. What's the next thing?
And then I went on and I pretend that I didn't know anything about the dual room machine or anything like that. I just kind of said, so can you bring this money in? Do you have a way of letting me know that, you can authenticate it in front of me?
Good.
In your branch?
And?
Or do you have one of those machines? No, we don't have the dual room machine if that's what you're asking. But in all of our branches, we can physically inspect them and change them.
Mrs. D, he actually said the word Delarue?
Yeah.
Continue.
Because we can, in all of our branches, we can identify if it is a real currency.
Yes.
And then he said that that there's a cap. Well, this one kind of took me a little bit off. He said that there's a cap on how much you can exchange a day.
Don't let it bother you. Okay. He said there's a continue, and then I'll explain it to you. What else did he say? A cap?
Yeah, there's a cap on how much you can exchange a day. And then I said, well, there's different, we were talking, because, and I'm hearing there's fees from you. Then I went up to him and I said, I just want you to know, talk to other banks, and those banks are Wells Fargo, the Citibank, Bank of America, and Chase. Those are the banks that I've already talked to.
Hold on. He knows his competition. You tell him all these banks that you're dealing with?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so that is one of the stories that Frank has come across. Yes, I have heard that that is true. So I would say if that's the bank you want to go with, go set up an account. First, talk to them and make sure that they are also involved in it. I'll go with every day in exchange. Okay. So another thing I want to let you know, Zelle. Some banks have it, some do not. But Zelle is going to be active in the crypto base. So right now, Zelle is kind of like Cash App. You send money, they receive it, they give it to the other person, and that's it. So this is going to remain the same thing, except you can put it in your wallet or you can keep it out on your phone. So you're going to be able to do both ways because you're on the new system. You've been on the new system since you got the gold back. This is what I was trying to tell you. There is no other system. You are in the global reset system. Shocker? I told somebody that the other day and they go, no way. No way. Oh, here we go again. Guys, it's all been done. You're watching a movie. It's just playing out. And now, rumors of war. War has began. When is war going to stop? What happened in Vietnam? What happened in 2008? Let's reset it for good. I'm with you, Earl. I'm with you. My mouth is getting a little numb here, guys. So if I'm not talking right, excuse me. I do want to bring something up to you. Last week, I was contacted. Nobody knew that I was not on. I was contacted by a few people to let me know about a family. Now, the family was in here, and I wonder what happened to them, and I never could find out. So this family just up and disappeared. Well, they called me and said that this family, they have 4 children, plus the 2 adults. They were in here, and I'm not going to mention names, but they didn't up and run. They got evicted. So I said, well, where are they? And they said, well, we found them. And I said, okay. I said, so what's happening? So I'm not going to give you all the details because it would take me forever. But their home was repossessed illegally, as we all know that. They went from one place to another. That's why nobody could find out where they were at. But then they stopped and somebody found them. So they started talking to them, asking them how they could help them and so forth. So they contacted me and said, Lynn, can you help out? And I said, I can't at this time. And I said, I'm really sorry. But I'm reaching out to you and everyone. This family needs help. You don't run with 4 children. They need to be in school. So I asked them, where they are, is that where they want to stay? Find out the school system and make sure it's a good neighborhood and a good school system. So they reached back out to me 2 days later and said, everything is good. So what I'm asking you is give God's blessings. Because when we found out where they were, the school system is good, I said, find a place for them to go. And I said, we can't buy anything. Maybe we can find something to rent. So they did. And then we calculated it out. And this is what they need. Now, this is not adding food, blankets, or anything else because we really don't know what they all need. But shelter is the most important things for those kids to be registered in a school and to be perfectly healthy. So if they found a rental, they want to make an agreement on it. We have not reached out to them yet to tell them that we have anything for them because we don't know. But this is what they're going to need. They found a house, which is 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It's nothing elaborate, but they want $2,200 down and $1,400 a month, which is extremely, extremely generous of this guy or woman who, I don't know if it's a couple. I just know it's a man involved in this. I told them that we would be working this out somehow and try to find assistance. So if you can please go onto God's blessings in your heart and see what you can do to help them. Honestly, I can't at this point. And it breaks my heart because I've always been able to help with something. But I'm struggling myself. So I just can't. But if you can, please email me. Only thing we have left is Cash App. Remember, Cash App is still the only one that's left other than Zelle. Zelle, my bank does not take anymore. And see, this is what disappoints me because this tells me that bank is going to be closing. If they don't take Zelle, being that you can do it on your wallet, they're going to be gone. So now I know why they're not taking it. Oh, God, now we got to look for a bank. Okay, so please go to God. Pray about it. Let him tell you. And like I said, all we have is Cash App. I don't have anything. You can wire it. But even that, people don't want to do that. I wouldn't. For one thing, right now, I don't think anybody's doing it. But anyway, Cash App is safe. We've always used it. I'm letting my mouth rest a minute. I'm sorry. Can somebody put my email in for me, please? Oh, Tammy did. Working Project 17. Yes. At Gmail. Yes. Thank you, Tammy. You know, this is a time that we're all struggling with something. Whether it's finances, whether it's the weather. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, did you happen to notice how brown some of the leaves are? I don't think it's from drought because we got rain and we got rain coming this weekend. Take a look out your window. Take a look at the flowers. Look at the bedding that goes around the trees and stuff. Think we might have an early fall? Oh my God. All right, family, I love you so much. You have no idea.
Walk with me, I'll walk with you. Down these troubled roads we've stumbled into. We're all in this thing together, we're gonna make it through. Walk with me, I'll walk with you. Be there for me, I'll be there for you. When we're running out of hope, when we don't know what to do, like a candle in the darkness, shining bright and true. Be there for me, I'll be there for you. Oh, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Yeah. 'Cause you and me got better days coming. Yeah, everything is gonna be alright. Walk with me, I'll walk with you. I know the rain of today will bring tomorrow's bloom, where we can't see where we're going, what the world is coming to. Will you walk with me? I'll walk with you. Walk with me. And I will walk with you. Walk with me. And I will walk with you. It's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Yeah. Ooh, it's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Walk with me, and I'll walk with you. Oh, walk with me, and I will walk with you.
Family, remember, God always walks with us. Why do you fear helping someone else? You know, yes, by the way, somebody said, did I do a GoFundMe? No, I did not, because I got told about this afterwards. I got a hold of GoFundMe, and the reason they withdrew and sent the money back to the people that contributed was because they could not find them and they ran out of time. Now, I don't normally do GoFundMe because of a lot of reasons. I don't know if you understand where that comes from. But so they came to me because I know many people everywhere. And what it's all about is that people don't know that they're getting anything. We don't want them to worry that they need to pay back something. We don't want to disgrace anybody because of what their situation is. What do you think if they're on the go? They don't want anyone to know that they got evicted. We try to help everyone. Now, I can, if they find out about the pillows and blankets and stuff, I do have someone I can go to for that. I can get some clothing sent to the children. I don't know about the parents yet. I can do that. I can call places and get the food shipped to them. We're on that base with them. That's not added in, but I think somebody said they know someone that can handle that. So we're going to be working on that. I need to like low key it down a little bit, but I still want to help them. So if you have any ideas, please. I don't want to see any children out struggling. But that being said, let's stop the chat and let's go to prayer. Father, we thank you for gathering us this morning. Now, there's more than signs it's right in their face, that all we're doing is sitting patiently, waiting for things to begin. Father, we know there's many that still are struggling. But when you're homeless, that's a different thing. When you have 4 children, how do you make that work? But I know you always make a way. I've came to you several times to ask for help, and it all seems to work out. So, Father, today we're praying for them, that we find a way to give them the shelter they need, the love that you give us, the shelter that you give us, the cars, the food, the clothing we need to give to them. Father, we thank you for watching over each and every one of us. For times are hard, but we know if we bring it to you, you always give us the answer. We may have to wait, and maybe sometimes a long time, but you show us signs along the way. Father, we ask for prayers for everyone here. Whatever they're going through, may they come to you. May they go within and just be talking to you. And may you show the love by their hearts beating and the little tingling that goes on. Father, it's been a long time, or I feel like it has been, since I've been up. But I pray you continue healing and restoration. And for all those that need it, to give it. Let all they're praying for, you hear them, you receive it, and they too gifted God's blessings. You always give us that. Blessings. Father, we thank you for this morning. Thank you for letting me come up. May you love each and every one here, listening, and to come. May they too come to you with all their troubles and burdens. And may you answer them as soon as you do us. And may everyone understand how much we love them. And we pray for them daily, each and every one. And this we ask, our mighty Father. That just keep us breathing and healthy and not go hungry. And this we pray. And we all said, Amen. Everybody go out and have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay loving, stay smiling, keep dancing, and don't quit. Put on the music, get up, and dance. Don't worry, I will be up as soon as I hear the first thing. And guys, by the way, TNT Tony, please don't be listening to him. Or Wolverine on X, please. They're doing you a disjudgment. Ooh. Hopium is not what we're looking for because everything is right in your face. But be kind to each other. Love one another. And may you be able to help someone that is really in need. I love you. God bless you. And I'm coming up at least one day next week. I'll put it in Telegram. But stays wise and kind. And remember, keep smiling. Bye-bye.